Headquarters of common sense.
Talk Radio.
I made some notes about Trudeau. I was so angry. I was actually having hair and makeup done, and I said, stop, to the hair and makeup ladies downstairs, because I said, stop, I want to make notes about this. I have to remember what this man is saying, including that we cannot, in the world, overthrow a rules-based order. He wants respect for sovereignty. I'm sorry, what about the sovereignty of those people peacefully protesting in Canada? How can he possibly condemn those people protesting in Russia and the absolute tyrant that is Putin and the way in which he is dealing with those people who are protesting in Russia when he did exactly the same thing? I'm fuming. Did any of the press, because I didn't catch the end of the press conference because I was making my way up here from the other room, but I know that you were listening to it live. Did anyone else of the journalists there actually point out this to Trudeau? Did any of them there say, Mr. Trudeau, why are you condemning Putin when your actions were akin to his, were similar to his, towards your own people? Justin Trudeau tells us he wants democracy respected. Does he? Well, he wasn't respecting it in his own country. He says that we have to stand for democracy and stay true to those values. Again, what about the democratic rights of those people in his country that were peacefully trying to protest, that he stripped the bank accounts of, that he took the pets away from, that he stopped the companies who were donating being able to make money? He was as tyrannical as Putin. And he says we need to fight for those sorts of values all over the world. Well, who was fighting for them in Canada? What a hypocrite. Shall we hear some of that hypocrisy from the man himself?
The focus is on the people of Ukraine and our solidarity with Ukraine, our pushing back against the illegal Russian invasion of Ukraine and standing up for democracies around the world.
Standing up for democracies around the world. What an absolute hypocrite. Meanwhile, we also have Boris Johnson's 6-point plan. I knew it would fall apart. I'm so sorry to have predicted it, but I knew his window of competence wouldn't last very long, because once again, what has he done? He has decided to look at what's happening already, to make a list of what's happening already and say that it's his plan. Well, it was already happening. Half of it doesn't mean anything. Mobilise the international humanitarian effort. Well, that's already happening. Support Ukraine in providing its own self-defence. Well, that's already happening. Maximise economic pressure on Putin's regime. Well, the only place that that's not happening now is the UK, because whilst we started with the sanctions before the EU, now the EU has put the UK to shame with the sanctions that they're implementing. What have we done? We've made the son of a KGB agent a lord. Prevent Russia's occupation of Ukraine becoming accepted. Well, who's accepting it? Pursue diplomatic solutions, but only if Ukraine has a seat at the table. Well, that's already happening. Beefing up defence cooperation between Europe and the US. Well, that's already happening. All of these things are already happening. So why is he saying this is part of a plan that he intends to implement when all of these things are already happening? I'll tell you why. Because he's run out of road. He's run out of that window of competence. What a disappointment. What a disappointment. You deserve so much better than those numpties that we heard from at that press conference today. I don't usually get as angry as this, but I actually cannot believe that these people are in charge. No wonder Putin looks at the West and just thinks, what on earth are they doing? No wonder Putin looks at the West and thinks, well, now's the time to strike. Because with Trudeau having the audacity to talk about democracy and Boris having no competence whatsoever, of course he's going to be laughing in our faces. Of course he is. Does that excuse what he's doing? Absolutely not. But my word, we're in trouble. And we're in trouble journalistically as well. Because if none of those journalists there asked Trudeau about his absolute outright hypocrisy, I could see them all sat there, soaking up every single word, salivating over the fact that they were in front of world leaders. Give me a seat at that press conference. I'll tell you now, I would ask them, I would say, how do you have the audacity to stand there, Mr. Trudeau, and talk about democracy and sovereignty in the way in which you treated your own people? How can you possibly condemn Putin when some of your actions mirrored his? That would be my question to him. But no one in press conferences seems to ask difficult questions anymore. I don't know why that is.
Good talk.
Hot talk. Bold talk. Talk radio.
Listen on your smart speaker.
Watch it live on your smart TV.
The world headquarters of common sense.
Talk Radio.